Hey guys, it's Elle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video chatting about my current favorite reads, books that I've been reading lately that I have just been loving so much. Because I didn't really post a lot over the summer, this will include some summer reads and more current reads because I just didn't want to do like a wrap up of summer and then like a wrap up of September, all of that good stuff. So here are a couple of books that I have just been absolutely loving. The first one is Blood and Steel by Helen Shearer. This is a new fantasy romance that I read, and I read it on my Kindle and it was absolutely fantastic. I loved this. The heroine, she is like her whole life she's wanted to be a shield bearer, and she goes to like the sanctuary thing where all of the shield bearers are and is like, please, I need to become this. And so the hero is tasked with taking her to the king to go see if he will let her be a shield bearer, and the king agrees. So they go on this like voyage trek to go to the king, and things come up while they're traveling, and then they come back to like where all of them are training, and the king agrees to let her be a shield bearer. And so she's training to become one, and things happen along the way, like fantastical things, and it's really good because he's like her like instructor, but then they have feelings for each other and things are getting hot and heavy, and it's a lot in the throes of like the beginning of this world because this is a series, so it's very like character driven at first of her like training and to be in like the competition to become awards. I think it's like awards ward or something, which is like the top like level you can be. And it's really, really good. I loved it. It was so good. I love the angst because they knew they couldn't do anything, and she didn't want to fall for him because he's so aggravating, but of course she does, and it's fantastic. The next book is a really cozy fall fantasy romance, which is The Spell Bookshop by, I don't remember this author's name, but I listened to it on audio and it was really, really fantastic. So the heroine, she works at this library and the library ends up getting burned down. And so her and her friend, who's also like a fantastical like being, travel to this like small town in this fantasy world, and they're trying to like hide their identity, that they have all of these like books from the library that they're keeping safe. And they're trying not to be found out in the town, and then the hero is a fisherman in the town, and they just start getting closer, growing closer, and she ends up opening a jam shop in the town, and it's just very cute, very cozy, very fall vibes, and I really adored it. I just loved how cozy it was and how she had to keep this like secret, and it was in this like Gilmore Girl-esque town, but in a fantasy world, if that makes sense. And it was just so cozy, all of the right vibes, and I really enjoyed it. Then I have Wildcard by Elsie Silver. I listened to this on audio when it released, and it was so good. Guys, I love Elsie Silver and I love her romances, and this was fantastic. So this one is a ex-boyfriend's dad romance, and so the hero and heroine meet in an airport when both of their flights get canceled, and they kind of spend the night together, not in like a romantic way, but just getting to know each other and doing all these fun things to distract themselves while in the airport. And they end up parting ways, and she gives him her phone number, and he texts her and he doesn't hear from her for a year. And so he's kind of like, that was a lost cause, all of that. And his son, he finds out that he has a son, and he's kind of being reunited with him. And he goes to his birthday party a year later, and he sees the heroine there and realizes that she's dating his son and he has feelings for her. And so they kind of don't like talk for a while after they see each other at the birthday party until she moves to the small town where this is set in. I forgot the name of the small town, but she is a yoga instructor, and she kind of befriends the hero's like older guy friend who is kind of dealing with some health problems, and she ends up becoming his caretaker. And she ends up also having to live in the house with the hero because the hero and the older man are so close that like he's like, you should stay here with me and all of this stuff. So it's like close quarters. They're living together. They still have feelings for each other. The hero's also a firefighter in the Pacific Northwest. And this book was so good, like the yearning, the angst. And I also just like felt so bad for the hero because his whole life he's wanted to have like a family, and it's just always fallen through. And it's just like so beautiful to see him finally get what he deserves. And I just loved it. It was really, really good. Then I have My Favorite Bad Decision by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I listened to this also on audio, and it was so much fun. This one, the heroine decides to hike or trek Mount Kilimanjaro, I think, or no, it's Mount Everest. Yes, I think it's Mount Everest, and nobody in her family believes that she can do it, so her dad sends her sister's ex-fiance or boyfriend to go tag along with her and to make sure she survives the trip. And so he is like going along with her, and she like can't stand him, but then there's points in the trip where, you know, she needs help and he's the one there to help her and stuff like that. And it's so good, and they fall in love on this trip, and he kind of like admits he's always had feelings for her, and oh, it was so good. I really love this one. I love when they're like traveling together and they like can't stand each other, but then they have to like work together in certain circumstances, and it is so much fun. Then I have Left of Forever by Tara DeWitt. I read this in the middle of the summer, and it was such a fantastic read. I love this. Like, it is a new favorite read of the year. It was so fantastic. This is a romance between a divorced couple who got married really young when they got pregnant with their son. And it's kind of their way of finding their way back to each other, but also healing all of the trauma that they kind of put on each other. And it is just such a beautiful story, and I really loved it because the story revolves around them going on a road trip, taking their son to college, and then driving back home to their small town in Sporks. And it's just so cute because, like, you know, she feels like he really messed up a lot, and he did. But like she's realizing like her miscommunication and realizing like, oh shoot, like I still have feelings for him, and he's doing everything right now, and he's being the man I deserve. And I just love all of that stuff. So really, really love this one. It was just such a fantastic read. Then I have Chasing Shelter by Catherine Cowles. I really enjoyed this one. This is the 5th book in the Sparrow Falls series, and it was just so much fun. And this one, the heroine Ellie, she is going to the small town to stay and visit with her brother to move. I think she's deciding to move there because she broke off a really abusive relationship, and she's going there to kind of re-find herself and kind of figure out what she wants out of life. And the hero is the sheriff of the town, and he has a daughter, and so I think they end up becoming neighbors, and she's just like always there and around with his daughter, and it's so cute. And I just love Ellie's character because her whole life had to be kind of forced into this box by her dad when she wanted to, like, you know, have color in her life and like do things and be herself. Like, she could never truly be herself. And I just love that, like, when she found Trace, like, she could, and it was just so beautiful to see. And of course there is some suspense in this one, and I really, really love that aspect of this book, and it was just such a solid read. And the last book on this list is Silver Elite by Dani Francis. I ate this book up. Guys, this is like a new favorite read of the year. Like, it was so fantastic. I'm obsessed with it. Now, this one, the heroine, it is in a fantasy world. It's like sci-fi with like planets and stuff. The heroine, her whole life has had to keep secret that she has this like mental like power, and that she can like read other people's minds and like get in their heads. And her like uncle died, and she's kind of forced to be in this elite force, which the elite force is like their military of like this planet. And so she has to go through all this training to become a silver elite, and her instructor like knows something is up, and she's like, no, it's like giving Divergent vibes, and I love Divergent. And I just like ate this book up. Like, I love like an instructor romance, and it had all of those aspects for me, and the angst that it brought was just like oh my God, it was so good. And I just really, really enjoyed it. It was so good. And I loved all like the secrecy and the training, and it was so much fun. And I cannot wait for book 2. All right, well, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing me chat about some of my favorite reads that I've been reading lately. And definitely let me know down below if you align with any of these and what you're reading, because I would love to know. Thanks so much. Bye.